Well, energy prices in the UK are set to rise by 13% in July. The country's energy regulator says the cap on bills has to go up due to the wholesale increase of oil and gas as a result of the Iran war. Liam Daly is senior economist at the Center for Economics and Business Research. Liam, good to have you on the show. So, unwelcome news, that is from the Energy Secretary Ed Miliband today. So how exposed are British households to rising energy prices?
Well, this rise that will be coming into place in the third quarter of the year will affect roughly 33 million households in the UK. While there are 40% of households currently on fixed tariffs, they will be unaffected. Nevertheless, this is a significant hit to many households across the UK.
Yeah, how about the rest of Europe, and how does the UK's exposure compare with the rest of Europe we are looking at, and which economies are most vulnerable to a prolonged disruption in the Middle East?
So compared to Europe, the energy price cap has provided some insulation for UK households, which European households have not necessarily experienced. Nevertheless, the bill will come for the UK households, coming, as you mentioned, in the third quarter of the year. I think the picture across Europe is quite fragmented, though across Europe, governments are taking measures to try and insulate households where possible from these rising wholesale energy prices.
Yeah, now it's because of the heat wave we see from Europe now, and also here in the UK. I'm pretty sure that there will be more demand in energy, and oil prices have risen sharply since the conflict escalated. Is it possible at this stage to estimate the economic damage caused by the conflict?
So the IMF has downgraded the global growth outlook from 3.3 to 3.1% for this year. That represents a loss of output in the order of magnitude of hundreds of billions of pounds. Obviously, the impacts of this cut will be largely unequal across the globe, with households in the global south bearing a higher brunt of this impact. Nevertheless, with a high level of uncertainty over the conflict, that there is still downside risk that the global growth outlook will weaken further.
Iranian state media has published what it says is a draft MOU that could pave the way for a deal. So let's say if tensions ease and an agreement is really reached, how quickly could energy markets respond?
So this news coming out of Tehran today is obviously welcome news. We're still not at the point of a resolution, but what we would likely see if a resolution were signed was a gradual unwinding of the global energy shock that has gripped the world since the start of the conflict earlier this year. We would likely expect to see some of the inflationary pressures that have built ease, as well as a gradual return to shipping. I think within 30 days, there is an option for the Strait of Hormuz to be reopened and commercial shipping to be restored. So these are all things that will help to pull down inflation, offering room for greater easing of monetary policy, while also removing some of the headwinds to global growth.
Okay, thank you very much. Liam Daly, senior economist at the Center for Economics and Business Research. Thank you very much for your insight.